Morning from Tom's house, Dalton, Massachusetts. Had a nice breakfast with Tom. Made me a couple eggs, donuts, coffee, bagels. Big thanks, man. Hanging out on the porch, finishing up the video for yesterday. It's supposed to rain like heavy all day, I heard. That's what Tom said too, but it drizzled earlier. Now it looks like doesn't know what it wants to do. What's up, kitty cat?
What's up?
The black one? Relaxing pretty hard right now. Ate some good lunch with Tom. Taking a little nap. It is definitely chilly today. I'm gonna be relaxing and taking it pretty easy today. Plan on having a little discussion about trekking poles in a little while and why I decided to stop using mine. Several people have asked, and just didn't want to take up so much time in a video, but I'm not gonna have much hiking to fill this video up with, so we'll get into it. All right, so I just ordered some Enlightened equipment, Torrid puffy pants, synthetic puffy pants. I think they're gonna be nice to keep me warm. Hopefully still nice and packable like the jacket. I'll use them underneath the rain gear, but synthetic, so it shouldn't be an issue if they get wet. Also just picked up a pair of Alpha Direct pants. Let me see what they were. Yeah, so I also picked up the Magnet Designs 120 gram weight Alpha Direct base weight pants, or base layer pants. It's kind of like the Cinchi or Farpoint. They have a lot of different companies out there, but most of them are sold out constantly. This company is available in stock, and they also, it looks like the quality is a little bit better. Like there's something you'd want to wear off trail too, just the way the waistband and the ankle bands are. There's pockets, so I'm really anxious, and they're still really lightweight, so I'm really anxious to try these pants out, as well as the Enlightened equipment puffy pants. They can't come soon enough because it is getting cold fast. All right, so I quit using my trekking poles southbound when I got to the Madison hut in the Whites, and this was for several reasons. First and foremost, I had been rolling my ankle just about every day, the left ankle, and the swelling hadn't gone down since like a day or two after I left Shaw's southbound. And I was willing to try anything to try to stop rolling it. So that was one big reason. Another big reason was coming over Madison. I experienced some of the fastest winds I'd ever experienced hiking, and there were several times where you had to correct mid-step and pick a new rock to step on. And I decided that if I was going to go down because of the wind, I wanted both hands to be able to break my fall. So the third reason I decided to not use my poles that day was because it was really cold, really rainy and windy, right? And I wanted the option to keep my hands in my jacket, my rain jacket pocket. I remember coming over Franconia northbound. I got some ice cold rain, and I had a hard time even holding on to my trekking poles on the way down. Way down Lafayette now. Hands ain't been this numb in a while. Gotta focus on hiking. So, all those factors came into play. I also wanted 2 free hands so I could film better, video better while I was hiking. But I didn't roll my ankle that day. The hike was pleasant. I decided to go ahead and roll with it the next day. Now, I've only used my trekking poles one time after that day, and that was when I busted my ass coming down Hexacube. I hit my knee really hard. I took the trekking poles out and started using them for less than an hour, I think. I got to a spot downhill that was really steep, really treacherous, and I wanted to use my hands. I didn't want my poles in my hand at that point. And when I decided to go ahead and put them up, I really didn't want to go through the trouble of taking them out again. So that's where they stayed until I eventually decided to mail them home somewhere in North Vermont on the Long Trail. At some point, I was just carrying around all this weight that I wasn't using. So that's what was going through my head whenever I stopped using them. But I'm not by any means trying to tell you not to use trekking poles. Honestly, I remember talking to someone earlier in this hike about how it was kind of arrogant not to use poles when you're on a hike because of the risk of injury. Honestly, I think that when you're not using the poles, you hike slower. You have to step more carefully. You can't afford to trip and kick rocks as much as you do with the trekking poles. So I think that's probably the main reason I don't roll my ankle as much. I'm stepping more carefully. I'm walking at a slower overall pace, but also my upper body's pretty stationary when I'm hiking. My hands are either in my pocket or by my side or on my fanny pack for the most part. So I think there's a lot of I think I save a lot of energy by not using the upper half of my body, and that allows me to go longer without taking a break. Also, the snacking situation is way better. It's way easier to hike and eat when I have 2 free hands and video. But I understand that everybody's different. Everybody has different, things going on. If you like hiking with trekking poles, then keep hiking with trekking poles. Do you, There's not a right or a wrong way to do it. I know I replied to some comment, probably in a snarky way, about, trekking pole companies doing a good job advertising something we don't need. And I think I was just annoyed at being asked about the trekking poles so much at the time, and I was, busy. My mood fluctuates. It waxes and wanes for sure. But yeah, that's my thoughts on trekking poles. Also, I would like to say that my shoes, although these are the Ultra 6s, the Olympus 6s, they are built much better than the 5s and the 4s. You can just see when you hold them and look at them, they're built stronger. But I've gotten more than double the mileage I'm used to getting out of a pair of Ultras. And I think that has something to do with not using the trekking poles, as well as the newer design of the shoe, but I don't kick rocks nearly as much. And I think that saved my shoes a lot. So it's food for thought if you're considering trekking poles or not. I think they're probably more important if you're a beginner, if you're not acclimated to hiking in mountains all day, But after 2,000 miles, there's a good chance your legs can handle going up and down without needing trekking poles. And honestly, on the way down, if it's a steep hike and you're going a steep descent, there's going to be trees and rocks to use with your hands, to grab onto with your hands to help you go down and break the steps. So
You know, when you stop using the poles, it's amazing at first how many places there are to hold on to and grab when you're going down a steep hill, a steep rocky hill. I can't speak for, you know, the southern states without trekking poles yet, but I look forward to finding out. I don't I don't know what the southern third of the trail is gonna look like by the time I get down there, but I'm just gonna have to play it by ear and take it as it goes. I'm still thinking and praying about all the people and communities that are devastated down there, hoping for a speedy recovery, not for my hike, but for y'all's well-being. I know that's rough dealing with that. You know, storm devastation, flood devastation. So, but yeah, Captain Jack, Trekking Pole 101.